atmosphere more electric than the rivalry between Edison and Tesla. And this is a rivalry. Find yourself someone who loves you the way this California crowd loves Nate Diaz. Jorge Masvidal, known as Street Jesus, he's ready to baptize another opponent. 3 judges chosen by the California State Athletic Commission, seated at ringside using the 10-point must system. The winner of each round gets 10 points. The opponent 9 or less, based on clean, effective punching. The bell. Round 1, Diaz versus Masvidal.
Jorge coming on southpaw, very interesting. He is not a southpaw.
I was curious too how they were going to come out with what stance they would be using.
Well, Diaz is a southpaw, but you're right, Sugar. Masvidal playing games already came out as a southpaw and wanting to utilize, he said, his speed and power advantage. And with Nate Diaz, you know what you're going to get.
This fight could very well play out like Chris versus Anthony Pettis. They both have the same styles.
Meanwhile, this crowd is going to be a big part of this matchup, will be a part of our soundtrack as they have been amped up all night. And again, over 18,000 selling out this building for this, the grunt match of the year.
Nate might lose these early rounds, but I think he can fight this kind of pace for, all day.
Masvidal sacrificing time spent with his young family in Miami, spending 6 months in Las Vegas, working with Jorge Capetillo, going all in for his sophomore appearance, his first boxing match in 19 years. Diaz looking to erase the bitter taste of his first boxing match when he was dropped and outpointed by Jake Paul. That fight came 10 pounds heavier at 185 pounds, and already a better start for Diaz.
Absolutely, Nate looks good. Looks like he's in shape. Nate's been boxing professionally, maybe not, boxing bouts, but his entire career he's been training with professional boxers.
Mauro Ranallo, former 2-time boxing welterweight champion Showtime Sean Porter, and current UFC bantamweight kingpin Sugar Sean O'Malley here ringside for this historic main event. And Diaz putting it on Masvidal. Early stages, and Masvidal again maybe just seeing what Diaz has to offer, downloading that proverbial data. Under a minute left, and Diaz going to the body.
Nate smiling, having fun in there.
So is Masvidal.
Listen to the point in which my boy Sugar said. He said this could be a very resembling fight of Avila and Pettis. Those guys didn't know how to transition from speed to power. I'm hoping it's not the case for Masvidal and Nate Diaz. To see the same sort of punching from Nate. I hope Masvidal knows how to transition from speed to power.
Half minute left in the first round. Their common MMA opponent, Donald Cerrone, predicts Diaz will win, citing his busier hands, and he has been busier here in the opening round.
Conor McGregor had, what, 500,000 on Nate?
$500,000! Then again, Conor made $100 million fighting Floyd Mayweather. I was there that night, August 2017. First round is in the books. And a good start for Nate Diaz.
Very good start for Nate Diaz. I was predicting Jorge might win these early rounds, but Nate came out, pretty fast compared to what I thought he was gonna.
His trainer, Richard Perez, administering instructions.
Take some time. I like the hour.
Security is tight in here.
It was all Diaz early. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I was saying security's tight. Let's get back to this.
All Diaz early. Yeah, all Diaz early, 1-2s. He was putting punches and bunches together. And then we saw Masvidal come back at the end of that round. The reason why I pulled that highlight right there, that overhand left, I think is going to be a good weapon for Masvidal moving forward.
What does it say about the level of their star power and support that a guy who's 0-1 as a boxer and a guy that's 1-0 has sold out the Honda Center with over 18,000 in attendance? What a world we're living in, kids.
I love seeing it. These guys are UFC legends, and it's amazing to see.
And again, I remember 2011 in San Diego when Jorge Masvidal challenged Gilbert Melendez for the Strikeforce lightweight title, falling short as he puts together a good combination on Diaz, and many of us thought that was it for Masvidal then. Here he is 13 years later, headlining this card and now starting to It was busted up in their MMA fight thanks to the foot of Masvidal, but that's an area that you know Masvidal is going to target.
It is going to be damn near impossible to knock Nate Diaz out.
This is how it goes, right?
Diaz again in his MMA, the striking-centric attack, the high volume, the relentless pressure, the pace. Masvidal known for having a little more pop in his punches.
It's actually pretty impressive what Jake Paul was able to do with Nate. Nate is a very, very skilled boxer.
You know, we're seeing offense from Nate. I mean, in 2 rounds already, this second round even over, he's probably throwing more punches than he threw the entire fight against Jake Paul. You know what I mean? So there's the difference here.
Midpoint of the second round. In that opening round, according to CompuBox, Diaz credited with landing 15 of 77 punches. Masvidal 11 of 58. Diaz with the edge 5-0 in body shots. Nice right hand from Masvidal, and Masvidal goes to the body. He landed a nice left hook to the body in their MMA encounter, and you know he'll want to target downstairs as much as he goes headhunting.
Masvidal's being very smart with his punches. He's not punching as hard as he can. He's kind of matching Nate's speed, because this is a 10-round fight.
That right there, we call it ripping off. You know, it's cool to touch, but then you got to rip off something hard.
Yes, sir. Nate don't really rip off. He kind of just pop.
And Masvidal continues to fight as a southpaw. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Let go of him, George. Let go of
There's the right hook, nothing right hook.
That's the
slapper by Nate Diaz. Of course, he wants to add some snap to those punches. As a counter from Masvidal. Masvidal, nice check, right hook.
Nate was attempting a big overhand left and got caught.
Yeah, got caught with that check right hook by Masvidal, beginning to find his rhythm, and tempo going to the body with the jab, but Diaz backing him up with body shots. The peekaboo guard employed by Masvidal. Final seconds of the second. A more competitive second round in terms of the statistics, and an entertaining affair through 2 rounds.
Better round for Jorge. Still, that was a very close round.
Very close, but a better round indeed for Masvidal.
I just don't think Nate's going to really slow down to where I think Jorge's, you know, he is putting a little bit more pop in these shots. He's going to, you know, take a little bit more energy to where Nate's literally, this is how he fights the entire fight.
Where's that jab at, man? You got to snap that jab. Come on, fade. When you jab it, hit that body shot. Left hand to the body, and the right hook. And then the uppercut. You want Buffy?
Trainer Perez wants to see the uppercut from Diaz. Meanwhile, Jorge Capetillo.
Bien inteligente nomás,
Intelligently. Big right hand from Jorge landed on Nate. God, Nate just wears those. He just eats them, comes forward. It's just hard to. Oh, man.
Masvidal training at high elevation in Las Vegas, and under the old school methods of Capetillo chopping wood. And now Diaz looking to chop down Masvidal to kick off round 3. Back comes Masvidal putting together some great punches from angles, and Masvidal opening up on Diaz.
That's what we need. You know, I think that the difference here, Diaz most recently felt that 3-minute round on game night, you know, against Jake Paul.
The headline continues to be that Masvidal fights from a southpaw stance and is having success.
Yeah, he's having more success this round, but I think it revolves around him actually just letting his hands go this round early on.
Yeah, trust in your cardio and letting those hands go.
Exactly.
Goes to the body, digging to the body as Masvidal. The
good
jab.
Angle.
And there, yes, very good angle work, landing the combination.
Now, I wonder if Nate had any idea Jorge would come out with southpaw.
I would have, yeah, you would have.
Is he boxing like he cared, though? You know?
Yeah.
Is he boxing like
I think I said it in the walk into the ring. He has 0 F's to give.
Yeah.
In any event, and he keeps coming forward. Jab, tries to curl the hook behind the high guard of Masvidal, goes to the body. Man, they are throwing bunches and bunches. In that last round, Masvidal threw 76 punches, landed 21. Diaz threw 73, landed 14. We're past the midway point of the third. Diaz going to work. Oh, a counter left by Masvidal.
was a little low.
Yeah, Masvidal's gonna have to land some really, really good body shots to slow Nate down. Because these headshots, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna slow him down much, but those body shots, they definitely will.
I gotta tell you, Diaz, his body looks much better.
Good counter left hand by Masvidal.
Than it did against Jake Paul. We know that.
Well, again, he was way heavier. Yeah,
Absolutely.
10 pounds heavier. He's fought at 155 and 170 as a mixed martial artist, so 175 more natural weight for both these guys. Here tonight as Masvidal lands another stiff jab from southpaw by Masvidal.
And it's a perfect way for Nate to get this. Nate to get this fight back. He lost against Jorge Masvidal at MMA. You know, he's going to take this fight so serious.
And he's doing just that. It's, again, the relentless pressure and pace of Diaz, but Masvidal using angles, using power shots, but Diaz now picking up pace. Under 30 seconds left in the third, but it's Masvidal's using the angles.
Yeah, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do against Nate Diaz. Keep turning, keep forcing Nate to move his feet.
And Nate's just still there, though. That's the issue.
Yeah, that's the issue.
He's just still in there.
A lot of guys don't know how to punch and move at the same time. The funny part about Nate is he don't give a damn, so he's moving out of position, but still letting his hands go.
Diaz fights like he's an extra of The Walking Dead. Just keeps coming forward.
But that's where those big shots are going to be landed from Jorge. When he's pivoted out, Nate's trying to circle back kind of towards him. That's where the big shots can be landed.
Listen to me, you're doing good, okay? You got to work that body more. When you're throwing hooks to the body,
There you go, body
and
work.
then duck.
Okay.
Okay.
No, ahí vamos.
Vamos bien. We're doing good. We're doing good. You're doing well, son. Come on, breathe.
This was a nice combo.
Three-piece.
Yeah.
And the soda.
Yep.
2 to the head and then 1 to the body. And I really like this one right here, too. He double hooked right here. Both guys just hustling the hands.
Boom.
And see, Diaz does leave a lot of space, though, for the counter. Wide punches, and Masvidal was able to effectively counter.
Jorge might have done more damage that round, but
he landed more punches, but they threw again. They're throwing. They're averaging over 75 punches around.
that's amazing.
And we have reached round number 4, scheduled for 10 in the light heavyweight division. And every fight is different, but definitely a much better looking Diaz in terms of his approach, technique, and effect. And Masvidal right there as well. They clinch. And
I'm curious if we'll see Jorge move into that orthodox stance. He's doing pretty decent for.
he's made his bread and butter, though, right, with the orthodox stance.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks comfortable at southpaw.
Right hand heavy.
He's an orthodox fighter.
Yeah, so he's right hand heavy from the southpaw stance. And I got a feeling, to your point, I think he's going to switch up at some point, Sugar, and start really letting some stuff go.
Diaz going to the body like his trainer, Richard Perez, wants him to do.
Come on, work, guys. Pull your arm. There you go.
That is a tough style to have. You know you're going to get punched a lot, but that's how you beat guys. People out punch themselves, punching you in the face, and then you start taking over.
Good overhand counter left by Masvidal. The jab stings Diaz. Another jab lands for Masvidal, and Diaz comes back with a double jab of his own. But the counter punches for Masvidal, they are eye-catching.
Yeah, he's taking short steps back, and he's just,
And he's sitting down now on these right hooks.
Come on, work, gentlemen, work.
really good combination right there from Jorge.
Well, Masvidal hands down trying to bait.
Nate, like he does, always right back, right?
Yup, pivot, back on him.
Constant volume. Trying to wear down Masvidal. Masvidal digs to the body with the right.
Very few people can have that style, that punching slow, just in your grill the entire fight. This guy will not lay off the well as he lays off the break. He's walking around smiling.
Looking at you saying, oh yeah, watch. And then boom, back to it. But Masvidal again to the body.
Yeah, that's the thing with Nate. You got to stay focused. Can't allow his antics to get to you. And right there we saw he got caught with a 1-2. Masvidal got caught with a 1-2 after Nate walked off, but then he came back with a body shot.
Yep.
Again, clean, effective punching, the #1 criteria in boxing. 10 seconds left in the fourth as the crowd serenades the Diaz.
Ooh.
Nate's just entertaining. Boxing, MMA. I mean, Jorge is too, but it's exciting.
Hold it.
Deténlo.
Hold it. Otra vez.
Again.
Relájate, todo está bien.
Everything's good. You're doing
Clean
good.
landed punches. The most significant punch landed so far in this fight. On the top of the head. Would much prefer that punch to land somewhere near the nose to the chin area, but then this right here, classic Nate Diaz.
Showboat into a 1-2.
I ain't going yet. I ain't going yet to go to 1-2 right back.
Jake did put Nate down, and that was from landing on top of the head. It was the temple shot. It was more of it was a knockdown, but it was like a stumbly kind of.
Yeah.
Wasn't right clean on the jaw.
This is round number 5. Nate Diaz was born the day after the memorable war between Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Thomas Hearns, April 16, 1985. Same beat as Papa Ronaldo watching tonight in the mighty metropolis of Mount Lehman, British Columbia, Canada. But the reason I bring that up is because Masvidal said this would not be Hagler-Hearns. He doesn't want to compare Diaz to that. He said it wasn't going to be a war. It was going to be an ass-kicking. Well, so far Diaz has something to say about that.
Well, I guess Masvidal forgot about Nate Diaz's gas tank and his work rate, right, Sugar?
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. Nate's putting on a beautiful performance right now.
Masvidal trained 10 days with Roy Jones Jr. Speaking of, you all must have forgotten. And of course, our thoughts and prayers continue to be with the Jones family after that recent tragic loss. But here with just over 2 minutes left in the first half of this scheduled 10 rounds.
There's the switch.
What's
was nice.
What's
That was
your
nice right hand.
assessment, Showtime, so far?
I love that switch and that overhand right there that just came from Masvidal. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that.
From a boxing standpoint, what do you think from what you've seen from these two neophyte boxers?
Well, what I want to see from Masvidal, I want to see that right there, more body work. But in terms of the positioning, in terms of the way these guys are releasing their shots, not too bad.
Masvidal now opening up on Diaz. Sugar, what is your take as we have a minute and a half left in the first half of the fight?
Man, I'm truly enjoying being able to sit this close to this fight. Yeah, Nate's kind of putting it on, but Jorge will every once in a while land a couple nice, hard combos. But Nate's looking really good.
Oh, Diaz winding up with a
little
bolo
Roy
punch.
Jones.
Gonna get a little bolo action.
Here for the game and all that come with it.
Moving forward, I got to ask you, Sugar, moving forward, when Nate gets hit clean, because he's the one getting hit clean with some bigger punches, should I be concerned at all?
No.
He's eating it off.
He's got a carbon fiber chin, right, Mr.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some
O'Malley?
people that don't go down, and Nate's one of those guys.
He's teak tough. Ooh, nice double right hook to the body by Masvidal.
I think you could hit Nate with a baseball bat on the head, and I don't think he'd go down.
And what about to the body?
The body, I mean, everyone's susceptible to a liver shot.
Oh, there's the jabs. A series of jabs by Diaz has Masvidal momentarily in the corner. Then Masvidal explodes with a combination of his own back in the southpaw stance.
Masvidal's punches are landing a lot harder, but Nate is just overwhelming him with punches.
The pace has abated a bit, but again, they were firing. Oh, nice combination by Masvidal. And we are through the first of this 107
That was nice.
fight. And a beautiful combination by Masvidal. A great fight.
That was
from
nice.
midway point.
That might have swayed the round. Jorge landed some big shots that last like 30 seconds.
Relájate, mijo.
Relax. Let's get some Vaseline.
Big round from Jorge
Relax a
Diaz.
little.
Excuse me, Jorge Masvidal.
Breathe deeply.
That big right hand right there, I said he switched. We didn't see the switch right there, but he landed a big overhand right. He's
And then
landed
the
some
left.
big shots.
And
Yeah.
a nice counter right from Diaz, but Masvidal opening up. Uppercut.
Listen, moving forward, this is what I don't want to see Masvidal do. Don't allow Nate to get back into that round. I thought Jorge had that round completely. This was a moment right here that he can't afford to have.
If you're Jorge, you gotta be in the back of your mind. You do not want to gas out against someone like Nate Diaz, because he will not stop throwing punches at you.
And make you look bad, right?
And make you look bad.
At the midpoint of the fight as we begin round
Is he coming out
number 6.
orthodox?
I'm sorry, why I get so excited?
Sixth round.
Masvidal, 88 of 333, 26% clip. Diaz, 70 of 376, 19%. And they're not landing at a high rate when it comes to power shots, but they're busy, and considering their relative inexperience as a boxer, there put on a show
right
for the
hand.
crowd, and there is the right hand.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Masvidal is going to try to run Nate into some right hands. I think he's got it set up.
And you wonder, because he is so much more experienced and better at orthodox, why it took him so long to go to orthodox.
I got one for you. Terrence Crawford starts every fight as an orthodox, then switches up.
But that's Terrence Crawford, a pound for pound king. Number 1 in the United States. Hashtag Diaz Masvidal.
The reason for the switch, though, you get your opponent moving in a certain direction. You create that rhythm. Then once you switch up, that opponent isn't able to get off of that rhythm. That's something that Terrence does, and I think that's what Masvidal is trying to do.
And Masvidal is a student of the game. Again, has gleaned information from so many boxing luminaries, but Diaz continues to put on the pressure. Minute 45 left in the 6th.
And now Jorge making me look bad because he went back to southpaw. He went back to
right hand by Diaz. Nice jab by Masvidal, but it's the volume by Diaz. Has Masvidal cornered.
This might be the first fight Nate hasn't bled.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, yeah. And it's so impressive Nate can just keep this pace up.
Body shot by Masvidal as he tries to slow down his pace, and that's one way to do it. Attack that body like it's filled with candy. Just over a minute left in the 6th. Cuffing right hook by Diaz. And it's again, death by 1,000 punches. It's that constant volume. Not a lot of pop, but that's never been his calling card.
Good body work.
Ooh.
Wear you down.
Both these guys are in tremendous shape.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
They came to throw down.
Big exchange right there.
Yeah.
Nice jab, slips through the peekaboo guard by Masvidal. A jab from Diaz. .30 seconds left in the 6th. Diaz missing wildly with that right. Masvidal backing up. There's a nice counter left hand by Masvidal. That step stopped Diaz momentarily, but only momentarily.
Good hook right
Lead
there.
right hook, yeah, by Diaz. Oh, nice counter left, and again, you asked how tough his chin is, Mr. Porter. You're seeing it on display. Diaz takes a lot of punishment, Sugar, but boy.
Ooh.
Goodness gracious.
Man, that style. That is a... I can't. I am so. I do not know how to call. I'm so glad I'm not judging this fight. I do not know who's winning these rounds. Nate with the overwhelming punches. Jorge's landing bigger shots.
Yep.
Man, this is a close. It's like
You're doing well.
Competitive. You're doing it right, Sugar.
Listen, you're doing very well. Because he comes toward the front. Come on. Do it. Balls. Those hooks. Don't cancel trauma, man.
Someone with an instrumental role as we look back at some of the action. The uppercut by Diaz. Take us through this, guys. There's that counter left.
beautiful left hand, and Jorge landed on Nate. But Nate backed up for about a split second, then right back on him.
Pivotal role in the Diaz corner. The cut man stitched Duran, not needed yet. And with Diaz, he's always going to have swelling around the eye, and we're seeing it already build. But if he does suffer a cut, he's got one of the best in the business in his corner in Stitch Duran as round 7 begins, and Diaz continues to walk down Masvidal.
Jorge's got to trust his cardio and believe in that second win.
And that's something too, Masvidal. More feints. We could see more feints.
Yeah. Feints cause, you know, feinting fast, making someone flinch takes a lot of energy. So you're gonna get a lot less feints in these later rounds, especially if he's getting a little bit tired.
Yep.
But trust in that.
It could be effective, but
yes,
you're right.
Very well could be.
Well, this... Oh, Diaz eats a punch, and again, showboating is one thing, but here you are in the main event of this pay-per-view in front of a sold-out crowd, and of course, Diaz wants to exercise the demon. It's funny. It was in this building, the Honda Center, after beating Anthony Pettis, who we saw in action earlier tonight. When Diaz won in the octagon, he called out Jorge Masvidal, and that was the planting of the seeds for the ceremonial BMF title fight in the octagon. And here they are, back at the Honda Center, meeting in the boxing ring.
I definitely felt there was like some symbolism with us coming here tonight for this fight.
And kudos to Masvidal. Here's a guy again who holds a victory over Nate Diaz, and yet calling Diaz a diva in terms of negotiations. Diaz being the A side, coming out last, and Masvidal acquiescing to all of it, and now wanting to make Diaz pay for those demands, but a competitive affair here.
See, that's the transition that I'm talking about. When you go to the body, go with some serious intent. Yeah. That's how you hurt somebody.
Jab by Masvidal, another jab from the southpaw stance.
Hook off the jab right there from Masvidal.
The hook from Diaz.
The switch now.
Under a minute left in the 7th round.
Clearly, both men took this fight very serious.
Very much.
This is a high output, very competitive fight.
Again, Masvidal loading up with that left hand. Nice body shot, ripping the right hand of the body is Masvidal. Going upstairs. Diaz gets countered again. Diaz turns, beautiful combination, body, head, and Diaz putting it on Masvidal, but Masvidal still able to counter effectively. Hard shots.
Listen, tonight is going to be, for the judges, all about what do you like, the work rate or the quality.
Well,
yes, sir.
What you like should be what the criteria calls for. Clean, effective punching.
Absolutely.
A momentous night here at the Honda Center in Anaheim. 18,000 plus in attendance, and Sugar Sean O'Malley, the UFC Bantamweight champion. You got to be pretty impressed with what you're seeing from two of your fellow MMA colleagues.
Yeah, very impressed. This is, exactly how I kind of pictured this fight playing out. Nate with the overwhelming punches. Jorge landed some big shots. Exciting fight.
Showtime, you're the boxing expert. Again, all things being relative, what do you think of what you're seeing?
Listen, I gave that last round to Diaz. I actually went with the quantity over the quality. I think for the most part, though, I have Masvidal winning this fight. I think that Masvidal has landed the cleaner, harder, more significant punches, but it's really hard to call.
Could we see a potential draw?
Nobody wants that.
Imagine. Then these guys got to go to a kickboxing match to settle it.
Bite that tongue, Mr. O'Malley, even though you're doing a great job tonight. No one wants to see a draw.
No, I agree.
But you're right. Well, wait a minute. Could be fair according to our own unofficial score, Mr. Showtime Sean Porter. Very close. Diaz up by a point. And again, you judges are seated at different sides of the ring, seeing what they see. But Diaz keeps coming forward, always going to do the same. You'd like to see a little more punch variety, maybe some punch.
I gotta blame a producer here, and I'm gonna do that. I actually have it 4 rounds to 3 for Masvidal. So I think that was a little backwards if I read it correctly.
No worries.
Man, this is such a close fight. Just depends on how you're scoring it.
Well, they want to settle the score definitively. Anticlimactic conclusion where Masvidal was getting the better of Nate Diaz 5 years ago in the octagon, was stopped after cuts around the right eye from Masvidal's feet, and now Masvidal putting his punches together. Diaz again trying to play the mind games, firing back, but Masvidal counters again with the left.
Both these guys 39 years old. Very, very impressive.
Yes.
Very impressive.
I said that, we got to account for the age and the mileage that's on both these guys. This is very impressive.
Combined 86 professional mixed martial arts fights. Both of them have been involved in combat sports for over 20 years. Another double right hook. Masvidal putting together good combinations now. Going to the body, and then Diaz pops him with the jab upstairs. But you talk about the toil and the toll. Over 20 years involved in one of the hardest professions on the planet, combat sports. And these two on the cusp of 40, giving it all they got in this professional prize fight.
Yeah, it's almost unthinkable to see these guys still in here doing this.
Diaz currying favor from the crowd. Masvidal maybe doing a little rope-a-dope as well. You got to be careful. Wants to let Diaz punch himself out and then come back with his more potent attack. But Diaz throwing more, landing more here in round 8. And he's closing the distance in terms of the totals. 15 seconds left in the round. Masvidal unloading the rights.
God, Masvidal could keep sneaking these rounds. Keep stealing these rounds by landing these big shots.
You can land a bunch of jabs. One heavy power shot erases all of it. Crowd appreciative of what they're seeing so far through 8 rounds. And they are enjoying themselves tonight. Fanmio pay-per-view presenting Diaz versus Masvidal, last man standing.
Look at me. In the name of Jesus, the Spirit is with you. Come on.
Nice combination right here from Masvidal. The fact that he just didn't stop right there. He had, he had Nate right there, and he just kept punching. And you're right.
Beautiful lead.
He's
right
still in
off.
rounds, I think.
He might be, right?
He's really good. The more eye-catching shots belong to Masvidal.
This literally could be, I hate this. I'm not even going to say it.
Clash of styles. Clash of styles.
They're 2 OGs.
Amen.
These guys will fight to the death.
Round number 9. You enjoy that shower, guys?
No.
At least it's not blood. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Here's the corrected unofficial scorecard where Mr. Showtime Sean Porter has Masvidal ahead by 2 points. And again, it could be the other way, but Sugar Sean O'Malley said it best. I mean, you look at the eye-catching shots of Masvidal, the more thudding power. And yet Diaz is right there, and he's landing his own shots, scoring his own fair amount, but never known for his power.
And it's hard when for both these guys. Whoever's going to win this fight, if it doesn't end up being a draw, both guys are going to feel like they did everything they needed to do to win this fight. But it's because their styles. Nate, again, like you said, he's got that pouring out style, and then Masvidal much cleaner and harder and direct with his punches.
Another body shot by Masvidal. Lead right hook curling around the guard of Diaz. Diaz beginning to slow ever so slightly here now, trying to put together combinations. A lot of those blocked from the guard of Masvidal, although a right hand slipped in for Diaz. Another jab. And there again, so Diaz puts together these combinations, and yet then Masvidal punctuates it with a big counter.
So tricky to score. Nate wants to flip him off with those gloves and just can't quite do it.
Not like he did when he defeated Kurt Pellegrino via triangle choke, flipping the bird. It's an art form for Mr. Nate Diaz. Ever the showman. Just over a minute left in the 9th.
Man, Jorge got cracked, but cracked him back.
Imagine if Nate stayed focused.
He's focused. Delivering the uppercut, doing what Diaz does, and the crowd appreciating it. Masvidal firing back with rights.
This is so impressive from both guys. I've said it over and over, but this really is.
I keep wondering why Masvidal stays southpaw and doesn't go back to orthodox, where he's flashed fight-ending power in his MMA career. And again, We'll find out after the fight, but right now, less than half a minute remaining in the penultimate round. They are standing right in front of each other, and just standing in front of each other.
Here's Orthodox. Look for that big right hand.
Yes, back to Orthodox, now back to southpaw.
He dropped Nate with the right hand in their fight. He dropped Darren Till with the right hand. That right hand is definitely his power weapon.
Yep, it's the right kick that actually dropped the first time and opened the cut around Diaz's eyes.
Who the hell won that round?
Yeah, very good call. I mean, it's the stats bear it out.
Yeah,
it's a close encounter of the light heavyweight kind here in our main event, 10th and final round on deck.
I'm not judging this fight anymore. Look at this. Big right hand. Big right hand landed from Masvidal. I mean, we can't say it anymore. You get big shots from Masvidal, and then you get the quantity, the output coming from Diaz.
This arena will not be happy if they announce Jorge Masvidal as the winner.
3 minutes left.
I'm about to start sneaking some rounds to Diaz.
Time for Diaz and Masvidal to echo Eminem's words, lose themselves in the moment. This is the moment, the final round, round 10. Listen to the crowd.
Nate's output is just unreal.
He has thrown 670 punches, landed 135. Masvidal's thrown 588 punches, landed 162. Diaz has thrown more. Masvidal's landed more and landing at a higher percentage, but still, anyone's fight.
Yeah, everything about Nate Diaz is deceptive. You look at his body, you don't expect the work rate and the gas tank that he's got. Then the punch, the way he delivers his shots, there's almost no speed on it, yet they get there and they land. You know, and he's got some steam too. Yeah.
In the immortal words of Joe Rogan, Diaz is a cardio machine and then some. And Masvidal as well, his conditioning. Put in the work, boy did he ever, as we mentioned. 6 months in Las Vegas away from his wife and kids. Diaz with the combination, including the uppercut.
Ooh, there it is.
Masvidal comes back.
Yeah, both these guys put in the road work. Both these guys put in the real training camps, you could tell. It's 10 rounds.
Are they going to be able to find a way to truly separate themselves here? A minute and a half left in the fight.
One drop could win you the entire fight right here.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I think by my scorecard, if Diaz were to get a knockdown, this fight would end in a draw. Which people would be pissed.
Oh yeah. Boxing.
And that right there is what Jorge should have been doing this entire fight, aiming for the gut.
Final minute of the fight. Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal.
Right there.
Masvidal back to Orthodox for a little bit. Ooh. Here you guys.
Put your arm out. Come on, Joe, let's go.
Their first meeting in the UFC 5 years ago for the ceremonial BMF belt saw Jorge Masvidal win after the fight was stopped.
Ooh, beautiful 1-2 down the pipe.
Duda cuts around the eyes of Diaz, but Diaz coming back, and there's a jab from Masvidal. 20 seconds left. Is Diaz going to avenge his loss to Masvidal, or will Masvidal go 2-0 against Diaz? Bitter rivals, bad blood. Honda Center in Anaheim.
Oh, the hugger!
And they applaud, and both of them showing some respect as they go 30 minutes, 10 full rounds at 175 pounds. And it will come down to the judges At ringside, the 3 judges chosen by the California State Athletic Commission to determine a winner. Showtime, Sean P., what saved you?
Oh, man, I got a 7-3, scored a draw. Man, this is a tough one to call right here. These guys, man.